Going down at Gold One Mine in Springs, and I mean literally where some say they've dug their own graves, but for hundreds of disgruntled mine workers, their underground sit-in is only their way out. Let's listen into this current briefing.
Firearms or spades or shovels, what kind of weapons were used or what type of strategy was, and how was this impasse of this hostage broken?
Just a follow-up quickly on Tohai. Who held them hostage? Are they illegal miners or are they AMCU members?
Well, maybe let me start with your question. Look, we didn't say it's illegal miners. I mean, it's illegal miners or what? But those were employees also of the mine, so it's people who are working in the mine. As to whether they are AMCU members, we don't know, but it is their fellow colleagues. So generally, what was discovered underground is knob keyries. That is the things that they could discover underground. So we don't know exactly because they were with them. And unfortunately, we are talking about people who were very much exhausted, who couldn't really relate things that has happened underground. But what we could be recovered there are knob keyries that they were in numbers.
How were they rescued?
Well, all the means have been done through the South African police. There is a team that is called Proto in the mines. So that Proto team, the security of the mine and the South African police was used to access the underground and assist them. We must also say that members, I think they broke ranks underground this morning because we started the report that we got. The first 5 came out and others followed after that. So there was a point where people were just forcing their way up to the surface.
Sean and the Newsroom Africa after that.
Just Sean Smiley from Ground Up. Just with this operation, you said the police were involved and the Proto team. Were there any injuries from that? Did they resist? Do we know?
Yes, there were injuries. As we have indicated yesterday, there were a few people, almost 15 people who were injured.
Okay.
And there was resistance, as you could have learned during the day. At some point, at least a sizable number of 130-something came up. And after that, everything went quiet, precisely because there was resistance. Those who were holding them under hostage, they were now beginning to fight back. That's when then the police got to be involved.
And I mean, did they fight the police at all? Were there struggles underground?
Well, of course, the police went there underground. You will appreciate that we were not with them underground, so we didn't get a report that says they were pulling and pushing that much. But of course, obviously, the police will they will elevate their power.
And just with the Proto team, so just with the Proto team, those are basically your guys. I mean, they're volunteers. What were they doing? What was their task?
The Proto team?
Yeah.
No, the Proto team, they are not necessarily volunteers. The Proto team are working for the mine. Their responsibility is to rescue people underground as and when there are situations like this. Yes, they are trained people.
Okay, newsroom, and then AP from Daily Sun, and then Kaupele from Sunday Times.
All right, Zola from Newsroom Africa. I also want to understand, sir, that you're saying some of the members that were trapped down there belonged to you. Now, when we spoke to them about the conditions that they were subjected to, they really said no one came through for them. The NUM, I mean, one would expect a union to come and assist in every possible way so that they deal with the situation better. As a result, some of them went on surface mainly because they could not stand the hunger and everything. Where did NUM fail them in that regard?
Well, NUM didn't fail them at all. Instead, NUM has made all means possible to assist in rescuing them. You will remember that late afternoon yesterday, we were briefing you. We have been here since Sunday when this thing happened. The branch leader, when it got to be announced that there's an hostage, the branch leadership was here. The branch leadership slept here. The regional leadership joined them on Monday. In the afternoon of Monday, the president of the National Union of Mine Workers was here. He left midnight. The whole day yesterday, myself and the regional leadership were here. And for us to be here, we are providing the necessary support. It is us who have pushed for the police to intervene. It's us who push management very hard that proto teams must be brought on board so that intervention is there. It's us who said those who need medication must be sent underground. Water must be sent underground for their sustainability. So from where we are sitting, we have done what we could do. Unfortunately, some of the things will be beyond our control. Because remember, a mine is somebody's property. It is not our property. So ours, we have just used bargaining powers to push management very hard to respond and to make sure that it's taking out these members underground.
AP Jelisan.
Sure. My name is Happy from Jamestown. Just want to find out in terms of those who were assaulted, there's any case or they are going to open any criminal case?
It was very difficult for comrades because, as we have said, they are very much exhausted. They couldn't really hold up. The only thing that we could give them is to say, look, get home, relax, and do everything. We think that maybe out of here, some of them will make up their mind. But we know that there was interaction with mine security, there was interaction with the police. The police have been here. So we haven't had a report, a clear report, but it is our hope that they will do that.
How can the Sunday Times?
Are you happy?
How are you? We are done with closed shop.
Yeah, no, I've dealt with that one.
Yes.
I just want to find out, no blood was shed. Are you relieved with the outcome? And going forward with the case unfolding, do you think that you will emerge
victorious?
Yeah.
We are victorious as we are here. In actual fact, we are celebrating. We are here to congratulate the team, the management team of Gold One, the proto team, the South African police, our shop steward led by the National Secretary of Health and Safety and the regional leadership. They've done the good work. Look, we will never say this means that we must go and relax. We know that that is not the end of the world. We'll have to continue to soldier on. We know that there will still be challenges, but we think there will be stability.
I'm taking last round of questions. And ENCA, Newsroom Africa, and then...
Yo, Newsroom Africa.
Workers have raised a number of issues having to say that you have failed them as NUM, hence they are calling for the AMCU representative in the mine. They're saying recently you've signed a wage deal with the mine without consulting them. How do you respond to that?
Look, workers will always raise issues, and as trade union, we understand that we are in a space where we are organizing workers who are treated unfairly by employers, who are exploited by employers. Ours is to try our all best to fight for them to have better conditions of employment. And to a certain extent, we agree that there are things that need to be fixed so that workers can be happy in terms of their salaries, in terms of conditions of employment, in terms of health and safety in particular. So we'll continue to fight for that, but we are believing that we are doing our best to fight for them. We are not giving us, we welcome criticism, we welcome things that they are raising. We'll have an opportunity to address mass meeting, to collect those issues, and we'll attend them.
Do you know if anyone has been
Newsroom.
Sir, I believe this would have been, the perfect time to address the masses, especially those who are underground, as a union that's representing them. What is preventing you from doing that? Because most of them have gathered that side. What is the reason why NUM is not addressing their people, especially those who are underground?
Those who are underground, we have indicated that they just got out. They are exhausted, they must go home. Unless, I don't know whether you're referring to that group, the 563. So comrades were here, the National Secretary was here, they have interacted with them. It could have not been in a mass meeting, but they interacted with them, they have comforted them to say, we are here, if you need any support, you must come to us. Well, I don't know those that we are talking about. When we want a mass meeting, we call a mass meeting. The branch leadership calls a mass meeting, we have a mass meeting. We have indicated that our members are not here precisely because the company have said everybody must go home since Sunday. So the regional leadership and the branch leadership will arrange a mass meeting, will come and address the members, give them feedback. They will have a platform to raise their issues, and we'll take it from there.
News 24 and Sowetan. Are you going to the ballot that AMCU members have called for? If so,
what?
If not, why?
Yeah, look, we didn't call for any ballot. Yes, it is not for us to decide whether it's going to happen or not. It will depend on the processes. Section 26 must guide us whether there's that necessity. So if they want that, they must follow the right processes. We are a law-abiding union. If ever we have to do it, the law says we have to do it, we'll do it.
And then so what?
No, I just wanted to know if are there any arrests that you are aware of?
We are not aware of any arrest, but of course police will be doing their work. I'm sure as from tomorrow we'll begin to be briefed as to is there any arrest. You know, the security cluster will always keep things quite classified.
As a union and your members were held hostage, did you guys open a case?
No, we haven't opened a case. Look, we have just concluded the process, and the focus was to get the comrades out of the situation that we're in. Now that we are happy that they are out, we will be able to consult and make up our mind as to how do we deal with this issue going forward.
Any further questions?
What measures are in place to make sure that it doesn't happen again? You just mentioned that it was done by the co-workers, and we're not aware of any arrest now. It might happen tomorrow again.
Yeah.
It might happen next week again.
Those are the things that we have just engaged with management that is equally exhausted. We couldn't really talk about issues relating to how do we manage the situation going forward. But we are hopeful to raise such issues when we meet with management as to what measures can we put in place going forward to avoid the situation. But I can tell you that this is the labor relation issue. You'll never say you'll put measures and it will never happen again. Anything can happen.
I'm taking the last question and then close the press conference. Is there any further question? Thank you very much, colleagues, for attending this press briefing. You are welcome to have one-on-one if you want to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes that briefing, of course, regarding what has been deemed by some as a hostage drama out in Gold One mine in Springs right here in Johannesburg. Around 500 miners, we understand, of course, were underground. They have resurfaced at the stage. But, of course, we understand that 15 people, according to this briefing, have been injured so far. There was some resistance, we are told. However, the police and members of the law enforcement had to, of course, intervene after it seems that there was some conflict, or at least fighting back from the miners who were still underground. We also note from the briefing that a mass meeting is planned. It will take place where there will be some consultations to be conducted with members. That's to be held. But at this stage, no case has been opened. No arrests have been made. However, as you would have heard, Section 26 is the policy that would guide processes that are to follow up next, of course, after those miners were trapped underground. On one camp, we hear, pointing fingers at management being accused of lying. That's the Gold One mine management. But on the other hand, we are told that members, the mine workers that were underground, were actually held hostage. And while the third voice speaks to how the miners who were underground actually were protesting because they want AMCU to be the union that's recognized to represent them as workers of Gold One mine. So you could hear different voices there in as far as what each perspective looks like. But I suppose when those processes do continue, we'll receive further clarity on what exactly is at the heart of the issues and what are the next steps to follow. I'm sure ENC will be catching up with Bafetile Morani. ENC report